Flex and Fresh, the fade and the flex. It started like every other Tuesday. Tony was deadlifting a wet-dry vacuum out behind the van. Jesse was applying a leave-in conditioner while humming the theme to Miami Vice. Everything seemed normal, until Tony's right elbow made a noise like a bag of microwave popcorn. He winced. Jesse didn't notice. He was busy studying his reflection in the van's chrome hubcap. He leaned closer. "No," he whispered. There, right above his temple, was a hairline breach. Barely visible, a crack in the pompadour perimeter. He dabbed some keratin booster over it, fast and quiet like a secret. Tony looked down at the vacuum still sitting on the pavement. He tried again, strained, grunted. Nothing. He looked around to make sure Jesse wasn't watching, then pretended to tie his shoe like the vacuum was just chilling there for fun. "Everything good?" Jesse asked, flipping down his sunglasses. "Totally," Tony said. "Just pacing myself. It's a new strategy." Jesse nodded. "Yeah, same here." And yet, as he turned, he pulled a tiny mirror from his pocket, leaned behind the van, and stared into it like it might betray him. Wrinkles, just a few. Little crow's feet beside his eyes, like stress lines drawn by a nervous ghost. He misted his face with vitamin toner and whispered to himself, "Hairlines grow back. Strength comes from within. Beauty is renewable." The phone rang. Tony answered, mostly to stop thinking. "Flex and Fresh, what's the grime?" A voice answered. "It's the old Blyton Manor. East Side. Old slime, new problems." Jesse perked up. "Didn't we clean that place in 2019? Tony nodded. "It's a redo. Some kind of recontamination. Like mildew came back with vengeance." They drove in silence for a while. Usually, Jesse would freestyle something absurd and silky. Usually, Tony would be grunting to the beat. But this time, the air inside the van was tense. Each man locked in his own private fear. As they arrived, the house stood waiting, 3 stories of haunted disappointment, shingles curling like evil tongues, the front door slightly ajar. They entered together. Jesse's hand trembled slightly as he lifted his mirror-shielded phone to scan for spectral residue. Tony reached for the mop bucket. His bicep flexed, then twitched, then cramped. He powered through it with a silent scream, grabbed the bucket and hoisted it. Slower than usual. "Cool," Jesse said, pretending not to notice. Tony nodded, pretending he didn't see Jesse subtly fluffing the side of his hairline with frantic fingers. They worked the lower floor in eerie quiet. Vines had grown through the walls again. The mirrors were fogged from the inside. A distant sobbing echoed from the laundry chute. Standard stuff, but they were off their game. Jesse missed a smudge on a mirror. Tony knocked over a broom. Neither commented. Upstairs, the guest bedroom had been completely taken over by something moist. A fog hovered around the bed. The wallpaper had begun to peel inward. They stood before it. Jesse stepped forward to deploy his signature combo, shampoo strike, conditioner quake, and the finishing mist. But the nozzle jammed. His hand shook. He wiped sweat from his temple, then froze. Hair, 2 strands, loose. Tony saw it. Jesse saw Tony see it. Tony tried to pretend he hadn't. But in that moment, Jesse's eyes drifted downward. Tony's left arm was shaking from holding the mop. It was subtle, but real. Jesse began. "Just tired?" Tony said nothing. Jesse sighed. "You too, huh?" Tony exhaled. "My grip strength's down. Elbow clicks like castanets. Yesterday I pulled a muscle reaching for my keys." Jesse held up a tiny bottle of hairline rescue spray, Maximum Silk Formula. "I've been using 3 of these a week," he said. "One of them leaked in my sock drawer. Now I have ankles smoother than marble." Silence. The fog thickened, and then came the voice from the closet. You think you can clean me again? It hissed. You're slower now. Softer. Weaker. The door burst open. A spectral being emerged, made of dust bunnies, clogged drains, broken dreams, and expired protein powder. It towered over them. Tony stepped forward, knees wobbling. Jesse tried to comb his hair. His hand shook. The entity roared. And that's when something happened. They looked at each other, saw it all. The fear, the decline, the human bits underneath the bleach and brilliance. Tony took a deep breath. You ready? He asked. Jesse smirked, flicking a single perfect strand back into place. Let's show this fungus how old school cleans. They launched into it together. Tony didn't lift the whole couch this time. He flipped it with momentum. Jesse didn't spin-kick the air freshener. He placed it with grace. But every move was sharper now, smarter, refined like aged vinegar. Less brute force, more precision. Tony slammed down the flexorcism slam. Jesse deployed the triple gloss infinity mist. Together, they hit the final move, the senior cleanse. A double strike of lemon sage truth and personal acceptance. The creature wailed, then dissolved into biodegradable glitter. The room went still. The house sighed in relief. Later, back at the van, they sat on the bumper in silence. Tony passed Jesse a cold towel. Jesse passed Tony a can of anti-inflammatory sparkling water. I'm not who I used to be, Jesse finally said. Tony nodded. But you're still Jesse. Jesse smiled. You still got flex. Tony grinned. And your hair's still 95% divine. Jesse flipped his mirror shut. Then I guess we're still in business. He stood, struck a pose, and said it loud and proud. Stay silky, baby.